Welcome back. Welcome back. We've got another, this is a big one. Big box today. 3 dozen books that I ordered from Midtown Comics during their 27th anniversary sale. So we're going to break this open right after this. Okay, thank you for watching another video where I'm unboxing comics that I bought online. Like I said, there was a 27th anniversary sale at Midtown Comics up in New York, and they had up to 75% off. And I took a chance. We're going to see how this works out because, yeah, I spent about $100. Mostly, I think it was like $89 on the books, and then maybe $7 in taxes or whatever. I can just do the math right here. I'm just dumb. Yeah, about $634. So basically $90.50 worth of books. So we have 34 books in total, about like I said, 3 dozen, and a total of $90.50. So if we average that out, I could find my calculator app. I just do it like this. 90.5 divided by 34 averages out to be about $2.66 a book. And it's a little bit misleading because a lot of these books are only $2, $2.05, $2.50, $1.30, and most of them are Bronze Age, I think, Kenny X-Men. We have a few modern Amazing Spider-Mans from the original 1963 series, but they're towards the tail end. They're all in the between 350. It's basically 350, 375, and 378, and I got those at pretty good prices. So we'll see, because most of these books are fine and very fine conditions. None of them are one specific issue that I bought multiples of is near mint. So we're going to see just how bad these things are. But you know, like I said, if you're getting some of these books, Bronze Age X-Men for $1.47, $2.12, something like that, it could be worth the risk just to see how bad they could be. And, you know, maybe if they are, you know, salvageable, if you could bring a fine up to a very fine or a very fine plus, because, you know, when some of these companies grade, they say fine. Fine runs the gamut between fine minus, fine plus, even sometimes very fine minus. And we could even check out, I know this isn't my review series, which I do have to do Midtown Comics because they are a place that I do buy from quite a bit. Let's just see their grading. Customer service. All right, so there's no shortcut to the grading on the in the help section. So I guess we'll just have to wait to do my my review to go over how they grade stuff. But here's so here's one bag and 2 bags. So get rid of that, and we'll just start getting into the unboxing. Yeah, I've actually had this sitting here for about a week. I've been a little bit nervous not to do the video, just to open it, because like I said, a lot of these are fine and very fine. And it's one of those things where it could be scary to get, those types of, to see what conditions some of these come in. Because fine, am I going to get books that are, are any of the books going to actually be in decent condition where they can be salvaged? You don't know, which is why I say, for some of the prices on these, it can be worth it just to see how they come in. So we will start. Okay, so it looks like we're going to start with the moderns. I'm missing some. Well, right off the bat, we have 2 copies of Amazing Spider-Man. This is, what is it, 378. They're direct copies, so nothing. I don't think any of these are newsstand. But then again, I don't know because I don't think Midtown, like my comic shop, I don't think 99% of the time they don't distinguish between the two. I know some books on my comic shop, they do split out the newsstand version versus, from the direct version. You'll have one listing for each of them, but a lot of times you're just buying the book and you're gonna get whichever one they have. So now this one, I don't know what the hell this one was. I know one of them was the first appear 375 is like the first appearance of She-Venom or some shit like that. I can never remember. Okay, so this is just part of the Maximum Carnage series. So like I said, 2 copies of ASM 378, and these are actually sealed, which is interesting because I know a few times that we've opened these before, most of them come unsealed, which is a big complaint that I've had. So I'm gonna be honest, for a very fine, it's got very nice corners, white pages. Spine looks very good. I mean, yeah, I don't know if we're going to go through every single one of these, but here, you could take a look at this spine. First glance, I'm not seeing many, if any, defects on there whatsoever. And then you could see, you could see how white the pages are. And, you could just see because the colors just pop. You don't get that on tan, brown, cream pages. That's why white pages are so nice because, especially if you're not grading, if you're not getting them encapsulated, because if you're getting them slabbed, who the hell cares what the page quality is? Because you're never going to see. That's what, it's one of those things where, yes, I understand why people want page quality to be white, because it enhances the overall appeal of the book. But if you're slabbing it and no one's ever going to see it, what the hell does it matter? The color, well, in that regard, yeah. Give me 1 second. Just needed to close the blinds a little bit because it got a little too bright in here. Okay, so we've got one. We've got another one, 378. I'm really not going to go through every single one of these modern ones. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and all 5 of the 350s that I bought. Oh, the 378. These were $2.07 each. So, that's why I say a lot of these. This one, the 350, the Doctor Doom cover, this was $1.30 for each of them. So that's why I bought 5 of them because, $1.30 is a pretty damn good price for these if they are, in good, decent condition. And just at first glance, I don't know. See if I can manage to do this. This is going to be interesting. Okay. All 5 books at one shot. You can see the spines. I'm not seeing very much. And of course, this is through the bag and it's not exactly, it's just all naked eye. I think the top one, I could see a spine tick right above or right below the little star thing. But for the most part, like just looking at it off the bat, yeah, that's for $1.30, it's worth it. So here's one for later on. Here's the other 3 of the ASM 378s. Again, 205, 207, $2.07 for these books. If they grade out to, better than the very fines, and even at the very fines, $1.30, 207, can't go wrong. And then here's the ASM 375s. Well, okay, so see, here's a problem. This is what we're going to run into now. This is, yeah. So these are supposed to be the near mint ones. And you can see near mint there. But, okay, 2 of them right by, all right. So you can see here and here. we've got two dents, and you can see it better on this angle. You can see, okay, yeah. So here and here, we've got two dents. Yeah, I don't like that because one of these looks, they both look very, very, very bad. Okay, this one, we have another one. And again, I'm not even taking these out of the bags, but you can see right here, you can see the color break. And then at this angle, yeah, it's the reflectiveness of this thing and having it in the bag, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. But you can see the dent right there. I mean, you could literally see it. So there's another one. This one has a small little one. It doesn't look like it breaks color, but it does look, this one looks much better, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I mean, you could see, yeah, this one for the most part is a better one. It doesn't have the egregious denting. This one, there's two, and they all look like they're in the same place for the most part, like similar places on the spines. All right, so this looks like there's a scratch, but it looks like it's on the bag. So then this one, well, you can see right here, you can see there's a dent. You can see that dent. You know, it's pronounced, and it looks like it does break color. And then for the fifth one, this one actually looks completely, mostly fine. This does not look like there's much. I mean, you've got, don't know if I could pull it, if I could get a good angle on it. Like you can see here, that little indent there, that's from the, yeah, at the staple. So these are all supposed to be near mints. These look worse than the very fines. And these cost $5 each, a flat $5. And like I said, this is the first appearance of Anne Weying, who becomes she Venom in Bride of Venom or some shit like that, some series later on. And also the first appearance of Eddie Brock's father. So we've got that. So that's all the Spider-Mans. Spider-Men. Well, I'm going to put these three on the side because I might have to send these back. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look. Okay, so next up is all the dangerous stuff. First off, we have, all right, so this is X-Men. I have this, the rest of these except for one are going to be X-Men. All right, so this is what, 175. And this is the marriage of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor. Didn't really even realize that. You know, it goes hand in hand with X-Men 97. So, you know, that's not why I bought it. I bought it because this one was $2.77 each. And again, this is a very fine. These are all very fines, and none of them are newsstands. So we can see all of them are direct editions, and they're all very fines. These don't have prices on them. So I don't know what they were originally. They were somewhere, but these were like either, you know, I don't know. But these look pretty good. Again, cursory look. We'll just pick the middle one to take a look at a little bit more in depth, just to see. Weird that the very fines end up better than the near mints. Okay, so first, what we can see is, all right. So I can see why they're very fines. I don't know if you can see. It's going to be hard, I think, to get. Trying to think of the best way to do this. So if we look at this way, you can see from the straight on, you can see that there's a stacking curl. Trying to get, yeah, so you can see that we have a bit of a stacking curl. That's not too bad. But at the top, Yeah, you can see it over here. There's some creasing, and that goes through the first couple pages. So nothing terrible. Um, the page quality isn't that great. You could see, it's tannish, off-white tan. The colors don't pop as much, but it's for an early 1980s book. I mean, we look at the back. Back is pretty clean. There's like no dirt. It's Yeah, and the spine looks pretty good. So if these are all the same for $2.77, I'm okay. I'm okay if the creasing doesn't get out 100%, if this doesn't end up being a near mint plus, because that's not why I bought it. I bought them because, hey, for $2.77, if it's very fine, maybe if I could get it to very fine plus near mint minus, is something to that. There's value that can be added to it. And that's really what it is with some of these things. Like, I understand the desire to only buy high quality, high grade books. And it's attainable. It's just something that, but you're not gonna be able to get them all. Not gonna be able to buy them in mass. Unless you get like a gigantic collection that is like a pedigree type thing, or an original owner collection that really took care of their books. You know, it's kind of hard because A, you're at the mercy of the original owners. B, you're at the mercy of the shops at which they're being sold from, where they've been, where they were originally sent to and where you're buying them from. C, you're at the mercy of the shipper and the store themselves, or whoever sold it to you, how they package it. So, aside from going and picking this up like in hand, there's a lot of variables that really make things, difficult to really say, oh, I'm only going to buy high quality. Because as we've seen on some of my other openings, on my store review videos, hey, they say high quality, but right here, you can see that's not, that's a gigantic color breaking ding in there. So, and of course, not everybody can say, well, yeah, that falls into the near mint because that range, that could be a single dent could be a 9.6. You're allowed to get it, or you can even get a 9.8 with one color breaking spine tick. But to me, that's not a 9.8 because that is way too pronounced. It's not a slight one. Where, let's say this one over, where is it? Like this one that's over here somewhere is, I think it's this right here. Yeah, I think this is it. That is more likely to be allowed in a 9.8 because it's not very pronounced. Yeah, I might be able to like get the dent pressed out of it. Maybe it is a foil cover, so it could be a little bit difficult. Plus, it's a thicker book to begin with. It's not as thing. I mean, it literally says giant sized 30th anniversary. Look at that. Yeah, see, giant sized. So it's not a 100-page special. It's not an 80-page special, but it is bigger than a standard book, so it might be a little bit harder to clean out, to press out. So now we'll take a look at. Wait, there's one that does not. One of these does not belong, and we'll see it. Of course, it would have been the top one. Annihilation number 4. Yeah, Annihilation number 4. Get it. If I get it without the glare. Death of Thanos. This also is supposed to be near mint. You can see it right there. Annihilation number 4. We'll take it out and see. Because Because the next set, the rest of these are, aside from one other book that's a very fine, everything else is going to be fine. So this, oi, 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 oi. That in no way is near mint. Look at all of this damage. All of that damage. Look at the back over here. So this is definitely going back. Yeah, and this was, I mean, you could even see, look at all the rippling. You can see the rippling, on the bottom of it. Yeah, you can see it there. Yeah, see this one I was actually really looking forward to. And you can even see how deep the corner crease goes. It literally goes through the, we're already into almost the middle of the book. We're almost at the midway point. And well, a white page isn't going to be very easy to tell, but you can see. I'll go to the next page because it's darker all over. But yeah, it's the bends go all the way through the pages. So this is definitely not near mint. And the thing that sucks is, I have to pay shipping to send it back to them because that's how they do it. But it's not my fault, and it's not the shipper's fault. This type of damage is not a shipping damage. That's a defect. That's a book that was sold in poor condition. And that one only cost $3 for that one, $3.21 all in. So that's the one that I was hoping, it would have been the better of them. Let's see. What is that? Let's just check cover price real quick. Just to see what it goes for. And I know Brian Gordon, Bryce Comics, he just did a whole video on Go Collect, how they changed their algorithm and FMV calculation on graded books or whatever. And he did a whole analysis of it, went through golden. I don't know if he did golden, but I know he did bronze, silver, and pretty sure he did some moderns too, or copper, silver, and bronze. But he went through his grading, his valuation versus what they had it valued at, and he got pretty much like I think he said a consistent 6% differential, either up or down from his to theirs. So he said that they've got a very good platform change, but raw books are a lot different, obviously, because hell, this was graded as near mint, obviously not. So yeah, so near mint plus, so last sold in 2018. All right, so a very fine sold for $16 on 6/28/24 and in raw. So this still would have been a good price from $3 to $16, but again, this is a near mint. Shouldn't be that. And just to double check, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, these are all color breaks. This is all white. So that's all color breaking. So even if I can, even this is all color breaking. So this, yeah, to me, this wouldn't even be worth. That's what they give you. They either refund it or they give you 25% back or 20% back. 20% is not, I don't want this book at this condition. I wanted it at near mint condition. The same thing with these. I'm not exactly sure. So let's do the very fines real quick. It's already up the top. Okay, so we have 3 copies of Uncanny X-Men number 174. And these are all direct copies. Now, again, these also, except for, it looks like one spine take throughout the same space. It looks like here, and there. almost in the same exact spot. All three of them have the one spine tip. Well, the top one has one here too. The bottom one has one right here. But for the most part, the spines look really good for a fine. For very fine. So let's take a look at the corners on them. Corners look pretty good. Corners look pretty good, yeah. So let's pick the middle one and just take a look. Just do a little spot inspection, see what the back looks like, what the oh. Okay, well, you can see there. This is a very big, I don't even know what to call it, because the front cover is in line. Like if you take this out, the front cover is pretty much in line with everything. The front is not short by all this amount. So this is like just a miscut. And you can look on the back, you know, it's not tremendously miswrapped. There's such a small miswrap over here, but the entire back cover sticks out from it. So, okay. And you can see a crease here, right here. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, the condition of the book is really good. The back is clean, a little bit dirt. This looks infinitely whiter than the issue before it. This is 174. I mean, the issue, yeah. No, the issue after it. So this is 174. This is white. The 175 had basically like tan, or maybe even worse. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, that's interesting. Once I get them all opened, we'll see if that's like the case with all of them. So now we get into the fines. And these are some decent books. Okay, so 175 or 174. That was 212. I paid 227 each, again with sales tax. So this I should have two. Yeah. And you got to be crazy not to buy multiples. So here's 171. Two of these. Okay, let's take a look. So we had X-Men 174. That was that a key? No, that wasn't a key. But this one is. This is the first appearance. No, Rogue joins the X-Men. I have one of these in Near Mint Minus, I believe, already. But I bought these because, you know, Rogue joins the X-Men. Big book, you know, for people who like collecting the Justice League of America books for when everybody joins, or the Avengers when somebody joins, even though the Avengers are a little bit different because every series seems to have a different lineup. Whereas the X-Men, for the most part, in the early parts, you know, most of them stayed pretty much the same. Once you got to 175, not 175, Giant Size number 1 in 1975, you know, that roster stayed the same for for a long time. Was it 1963 or 1961? Over a decade for the most part, even though a lot of them were repeats. But you know, for the first part of the run for the original X-Men, just one team. Then once the Giant Size X-Men came out, you had from 75 until this is 83 or something. Yeah, 83. So that's another 8 years when the team was mostly the same until Rogue came along. You know, nobody else between Giant Size 1 and now really joined the team, as far as I'm remembering. But after that, that's when you started getting a little bit crazy, because that's when, another few years from this, you had 244, which was Jubilee, then 266, which was Gambit. And I don't even know when Psylocke officially joined. She's all over the place because her first appearance was in New Mutants Annual #2. So her first appearance wasn't even in here. And in fact, she wasn't even, if I recall correctly, I think her as Betsy Braddock was back in the 70s in Captain Britain comics. So yeah, so I mean, off on a tangent, but okay, so let's take a look at these, because these could be potentially really big books. If they're not like big books as in, you know, Grail, but I paid, like I said, 370 for these two. I paid 375 each. So if these are a fine and they can get cleaned and pressed to be like, you know, a very fine plus near mint or whatever, that's like, you know, you could like 10-fold your money. And in reality, I'm going to be honest. You look at this book. Let's look at this book. So from bottom to top, get back into focus. This is a really nice find. Yeah, you have like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, but for the most part, really nice. I mean, look at the back cover. For the most of this back cover, it's really clean. Where did I see the black? A little bit of something right here, but that could be if that's like a printer's roll or something, or like a printer's mark. Yeah, because you also have a little bit here. It's very faint. I'm trying to get the angle on it. It's right where my finger is, but it doesn't show up on camera. I don't know why. It's like literally right there, but it doesn't come up on camera. That's how faint it is. I mean, and the page quality. This is in between the other two books. This is not like pure white, but it's not like as tan. So yeah, I mean, this to me for $3.75, this is a steal. You know, this is a tremendous steal. And then we have, you know, then you got this, the second copy. It's okay, so it's a little bit of an overhang, and I don't know if we could pick it up. You can see a little bit how the top, yeah, you can see the camera doesn't want to stay focused on it, but it's a little bit of an overhang on the front and the back. But other than that, this is the same thing. The cover is really nice. A couple of dents that don't even seem to break color on here. Like here's one that breaks color, and here's another one that breaks color. But other than that, there's like one or two like over here somewhere that didn't really break color. And the back is really clean. You can see like there's a little bit of a crease over here, but on a white cover, well, let's check the interior real quick. Yeah, no, the interior also is a white cover. So, you know, that can press out and won't have any issues. So this to me, this is why I spent the money on these, because, you know, it's like, I'm interested. I like doing this shit. I like doing this where, you know, potentially if we get lucky on the grading, you know, something that we can, like those challenges, turn a paper clip, you know, keep flipping it into something ginormous like a house. You know, you just have to trade the paper clip for something, and then keep, you know, trading that for something else. Same thing like with this stuff. You know, be able to get a book at a really good price, or something that's, you know, not in perfect condition, be able to clean it up, press it, you know, do all that stuff on it, you know, maybe clean it if it's got a little dirt, you know, just making it look less presentable, and then being able to flip that and be like, hey, you know, I just paid $3.75 for that book. I can sell that for $20. Take that $20, buy something else that you like with it that's a little bit higher, you know, better quality, or maybe even turn this into $20 and then put that $20 into a near mint, where, you know, so your near mint now costs you $17 less because you only purchased this one for $3, then you turned it into 20 and change. So, you know, that snowball effect. But here's 173. These I paid $1.47. Base price $1.47 and $1.57 after tax. Yeah, $1.57 after tax. Origin of Silver Samurai, debut of Storm's Mohawk, and the leather costume, which we don't see. But, this is, for all intents and purposes, the Storm with the Mohawk. That's the 80s kids. Anybody born in the late 70s, like me, I was born in 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. Anybody that was born in that time who was collecting in the mid 80s to like early 90s, that was our Storm, the Mohawk with the leather. But origin of Silver Samurai. Silver Samurai is a dope character. Didn't start out in here. Our first appearance was in Daredevil, but this is just one of those things where $1.47. If this isn't torn apart, it's like okay, and it doesn't look that bad. Especially for an all black cover. Like, especially for that cover, let's take a look. I mean, yeah, you've got here, but they're so slight. And yeah, the top is a little bit iffy, but nothing that stands out that says, holy crap, this book is torn apart. I mean, you can see it in the bottom corner over there. There's a little bit of creasing, but it's not color breaking. So, I mean, this is like striking gold. So, and you can see the color. They're not dark brown or anything like that. I mean, if I was to buy, I fit up. This is like one of those things where it's like, crap, the good ones were trashed, and the ones that are supposed to be in lower condition were actually graded too low. So, I don't know. This is like the opposite, really, of like the New Cadia books that I always open, where they tell you it's a near mint plus, but it's got like 5 spine ticks on them, or the backs are totally torn apart. Okay, so this is 170. Most of these, like I said, these are all Bronze Age. So the conditions are actually pretty good. Okay, so 170. This does not have any significance. This one does. The next one does. That's yeah. That's again, So we have 170, sick Callisto and Storm cover. Now you could definitely see one of these is a little bit worse for wear, just in terms of this one is more orange, less red. So you do have a little bit, and you don't really know. It could be the printing, because there are cases, like if you look at the ASM 300, it's the same thing. You have a lot of them are red, but then you have some of them that just, it's the printing made it less red, more orangey. So, again, these are just really clean copies. I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get more of them, but you know what? Once these books are on, tomorrow's Wednesday. Well, tomorrow, from when I'm recording this, tomorrow's Wednesday. I don't know what day it's going to be when it gets posted, but tomorrow's going to be another sale. And this is Midtown has their sales on Wednesdays when they go up. I'm going back and I'm buying all these things afterwards. So here's first appearance of Madeline Pryor. Lockheed finds his name. First mention of the name Lockheed. Lockheed's a dope character. I really like that little guy, little purple dragon. But again, for the age, okay, this, all right, well, we'll get to it. All right, so this spine, I mean, you got something here. You've got a little bit here, but the slightest thing here. But the rest of it is like, these spines in a fine in 1980s books are better than the books that I get from the 2010s at another store that I've already mentioned, but I won't mention it again because I won't harp on it. I mean, page quality, really good. The back, there's, where did I see it? So something somewhere, now I can't remember where it was. Okay, right here. There's something right there. It's not a hair because I tried to wipe it off. So hopefully that's just a pencil mark. And, that could come off very easily. Now, yeah, The only thing that scares me is that I screw it all up when I go to press them, or take the iron to them or something. But yeah, I mean, can't complain for the majority of these things. Like for the Bronze Age stuff that are marked as fines, I can't complain whatsoever. But that one cost 509. This one, the 168, this was the highest book out of all of them at 509. So 166, first appearance of Lockheed. Yeah, that's the Brood Queen. Now, the Brood was not in, they were in the original X-Men animated series where Rogue's boyfriend Cody comes back, and she's like, "Oh my God, is that Cody?" And they go out on a date, and that's the Brood actually shows up there. Those are the aliens that take over the X-Men and control them. But we have one direct and one newsstand, and that's what I'm saying. Some of these stores you just don't know, because if you look at them, they just say Uncanny X-Men number 166. They don't say newsstand or direct edition. So just out of curiosity, we'll take a look at cover price to see if there's a distinction. I don't think, I'm not going to go through every one of these again because these are like the smaller ones, but I mean, Lockheed again. All right, so that's another Bronze Age from 83. I'm just waiting for this to come up. So yeah, this has let's call it a fine. The fine has an FMV of $11 in the direct. The newsstand in a fine, waiting for the website to respond. A fine is $31 fair market value, but that last sale was $324. Okay, so the last sale of the newsstand was in a fine was $29 on 3/24/24. So today is July 16th. So we're talking about only like not even 4 months ago. So, at least we're not talking about 2 years, 3 years of, without any data. So we're good with that. Then we have, okay, this is 155, but something, okay, yeah, the M, okay, yeah, but I'm not 100% sure. 60 cents. Is this a pence? This actually looks like it's a pence edition. Now, I'm not an expert, so I'm just going to look this up real quick because, well, let me just show you. So we have X-Men 155, direct, newsstand. But the newsstand, and if you look at them, try to get them off the glare. So you can see that looks like a UK version because it says the pence on there, whereas the US only says the 60 cents. So I need to look this up because, like I said, I've never dealt with pence or anything like that. These books came out when I was 6. I was not collecting when I was 6. So we have 155. Okay, first team material, yeah, first appearance of the Brood and the first appearance of the Brood Queen, which is why I bought them. But okay, so the variants, newsstand, and okay, so the newsstand. Let me just get this up on the screen for you so that you can see what I'm looking at. I should be able to do this because voiceover screen share, and then we're going to switch this over to there we go. Okay, now we have this available. So this is the standard newsstand. So if you look at the so if you look at the bottom box, like the face over, that's this. So that's that. Oh, I'm looking for this. The direct is the one that has this. My bad. Okay, so I'm looking for the direct. It's this one. Okay, so that's the direct. It still looks the same, except this direct one has this. See, it looks different. So we're going to come back here, and I'm just going to look real quick. So we're going to look at 155, and I'm still in cover price to see if there is a UK edition on there. Because yeah, this is very interesting. I'm going to be honest. I've never owned, at least I don't think I've ever owned a UK price variant before. Okay, so X-Men 155. Sorry about doing this, but okay, so first appearance of the Brood. All right, so they don't even have it on the thing. So, all right, let's go back to this. I'm not even gonna do my face cam. I'm just gonna do I'm just gonna do this. So I want to take a look at the other place that I use when I have what do you call it? When I have issues with issues. Okay, so there's a site called Grand Comics Database. And as you can see here, once we type in Uncanny X-Men number 155. Am I not typing? Okay. Uncanny X-Men number 155. It would help if I typed it. Okay, so we look at the issue. And what ends up happening is when we look at the issue, it shows us the covers. Okay, so the direct copy, see, this is where it gets confusing. The direct copy does show this. But how come? Let's take a look. My comic shop. X-Men number 155. Let's take a look at my comic shop. So, okay, so there is no UK variant then. Damn. So it just looked different with the UK pricing on there than the news copy. Okay, so that's why I don't pretend to be an expert on any of this crap, because I had no idea. So okay, we just wasted 10 minutes of that video. Alrighty then. So yeah, so okay, but again, it's just weird because none of the other books. Here's 152. They don't have the UK price on there. I don't know. I'm not going to harp on it anymore. But last but not least, X-Men number 152. And this one, oh wait, so we have to talk about, what did I pay? I paid for the 155, I paid $250 for each of them. For this one, I paid $205. So what was this? 152. So yeah, I paid $205. Nothing special to it, just a Bronze Age book. And since it's only one, and we'll just take a look real quick. Let's just see what's going on there. I mean, look at the spine. This spine is actually quite nice. There's something right there. But other than that, look at the corners. The edge is really good. You can see the corners on this is a little bit, it's not missing like it looked on there. It's just a little bit folded over because, again, this is a little bit of an overhang. And you might be able to see it. Like, see that? You can see that there's a little bit of a crease to it right there. That's because it was folded under a little bit because it's a little bit of an overhang. But you look at the back. You got a little bit of something right here. But the rest of the book, it is clean. So aside from that, definitely from the one Annihilation, from this one that had the color break increase on the open edge on the back that went through multiple books, and a few of those 375s that were supposed to be near mint that had color breaking dents in them. Aside from those, let's say 3 books, this was really successful. I really enjoyed opening this box. I definitely going back to Midtown and buying more books once they go on sale, because these books, if I recall properly, most of these, the X-Men books were only 25% off. The Spider-Mans were all 75% off. And the Annihilation was 75% off. But the X-Men, for the most part, I think most of them were 25% off, which is about standard for their for most of their sales. Like they'll have sales like up to 60% off this, up to 75% off that. But for the majority of them, it's really not going to be the highest end. So yeah, I'm speechless. I can't wait to get into these, start cleaning them, pressing them, putting them into Mylars, fullbacks, all that crap. And just getting into that stuff. I'll contact them about the other few books. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for sitting through my rambling about the stupid the UK price variant that might not have been, but still might be, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with that. But thank you. Leave me a comment in the down below. Let me know what you thought about the conditions of all these. How in the hell I get fairs that look fines that look like this, but near mints and near mint pluses in my other videos that look like these went through a washing machine. So let's talk about that stuff. I want to hear what your thoughts are, and I'll see you on the next video.